Brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Should Cristina and Kamala and Queredat close up shop? Crystal Paco has more on what that could mean for the island's homeless community. Also tonight, an ethics complaint calls a Guam Education Board member's seat into question. Isa Baza has details in that report. And also the aircraft carrier, the USS Theodore Roosevelt, arrived for a port visit to Guam at a time of rising tensions with North Korea. Hafa, good evening and happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. These are tonight's top stories. Well, should the downtown soup kitchen close doors and start over? It really depends on who you ask, as while the concerned Catholics of Guam have been at the forefront of bringing transparency to the church and its operations, their recent recommendation to shut down the downtown soup kitchen could devastate the already struggling homeless community. And today, the nonprofit's new leadership speaks up and brings clarity to the concerns raised by the concerned Catholics of Guam. Crystal Paco reports.
She's just one of the many regulars at Kusinian Kamala and Queredat.
We're not hopeless, but just homeless.
Though she wouldn't give her name, she braved our cameras to extend gratitude to the men and women who serve up hot meals at the Hagåtña Soup Kitchen 7 days a week.
They're very helpful. They're very helpful people.
On Monday, 55 people came out for the nightly feeding. Earlier that day, Concerned Catholics of Guam President David Sablan made a recommendation that the church shut down the nonprofit's operations due to past alleged financial mismanagement. Rather than clean house, the CCOG further recommended the church start an entirely new organization, one that stays true to the ministry. Kamala and Queredat's new executive director, Paulie Mike Crisostomo, disagrees. He believes reform is possible, and it's happening.
When Mr. Sablan asked that we should start everything all over, in some sense we are. We are doing it. We've updated all of our reports. The Guam annual reports from revenue and tax have been updated all the way to 2016. In the past, there was a misunderstanding. My predecessor had thought that, because we were under the Archdiocese, that we didn't have to file any of these things. But again, lesson learned.
Paulie Mike further clarifies that Archbishop Anthony Apron is no longer the chairman.
That was a 2016 document. That was a report. He was still the Archbishop then. You will see in the 2017, once we file this, that Archbishop Burns is now the chairman of the board.
While there's questions about transparency, that was past administration. It'll be up to the new board and Archbishop Burns to decide what's next. According to Paulie Mike, 2016 fundraising efforts totaled up to $40,000, while donations averaged $20,000. Donors, he says, can be confident their dollars are being spent to help the poor and homeless.
If you still feel that you're not confident about your donation, come and I welcome you to come and see for yourself what's going on, what happens here.
A place that's become a lifeline for many, like this woman.
This is the place that we can depend on eating. Some of them are, they don't have no home. Some of them, they just don't have no job, and some of them they just trying their best to have their own, to survive.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Well, as we reported on social media today, GPD is asking for your help in locating the parents or guardians of a young child found in Dededo earlier today. GPD says the little girl is approximately 2 to 3 years old, may be of Filipino descent. She's got long black hair and was wearing a floral print dress. She's found alone on Fatima Road by South Henry Kaiser, close to the mobile entrance of the Micronesia Mall, just after 10 a.m. If you have any information, please call Guam Crime Stoppers. Their number, of course, 477-HELP. Well, we've got more to tell you now on the crackdown of contraband at DOC, as an indictment's been handed down against the handful of people charged for their part in allegedly smuggling contraband into prison. Cora Tatautau, Kiana Manabusin, Raymond Tatautau, Frank Pangilinan, and Paul Johnson face numerous charges of conspiracy to promote major prison contraband and drug possession. The 5 were arrested following an evacuation at the hospital, prompted by a report of a suspicious package. Investigators learned the document, which contained cell phones and SIM cards, was to be picked up and brought to the Manila prison. Authorities later carried out a search warrant at one of the suspects' home, finding packaging material, the drug ice, as well as glass pipes. Well, Guam's medical examiner did identify the passenger from Saturday's deadly crash along Bellow Road in Dededo being 28-year-old Nomar Narun. That person who died of a broken neck was a passenger in a 3-car collision. GPD continues to investigate the accident as well as a separate crash at NCS that happened last Friday. Well, there is still no trial date set for the 3 men charged with the attempted murder of prison detainee Justin Meno. Jeremiah Isizaki, Albert Santos II, and Peter Guinness appeared in court Tuesday. Prosecution says they've sent Meno's clothing to the FBI for testing. And while they wait on results, the court will have to take action on defense's motion to suppress Meno's verbal as well as nonverbal statements. A return hearing is set for December the 21st. Well, in other news tonight, another clergy sex abuse lawsuit was filed this afternoon in federal court. Only identified by his initials, 48-year-old J.C. names Father John Nyland, otherwise known as Jack, a Capuchin priest, as his perpetrator. J.C. alleges the sexual abuse occurred at the Agate Parish, where he then served as an altar boy. During confession, while J.C. was on his knees and his eyes closed confessing, he alleges the priest raped him. Father Jack passed away in 2009. J.C. is suing for $5 million. Well, did a Guam Education Board member have to disclose his union role prior to voting on the Education Board? An ethics complaint calls the member's seat into question, and now there's concern whether the complaint will bring up more delays to the long-awaited teacher union contract. Isa Baza has more in our next report.
The Guam Education Board is now reviewing an ethics complaint filed by Barry Meade against elected member James Lujan. The complaint was filed Thursday afternoon and alleges Lujan failed to disclose a conflict of interest, namely that he is both an Education Board member and treasurer for the Guam Federation of Teachers.
Doing research, I found out that Mr. Lujan did not resign his position as the treasurer of the GFT when he was elected.
Despite this, Meade says Lujan voted to approve a collective bargaining agreement between the board and GFT.
Well, as a member of the Guam Federation of Teachers Executive Board, he would also vote to accept the ratification of that same agreement from the members of the union.
Meade argues that Lujan should have recused himself from the vote, adding if a conflict of interest is found, it could put the contract's initial approval in jeopardy.
There were only 5 members present. So without his vote, there was no vote, because the rule of 5 applies to the board. Every single motion that they have for approval must have 5 votes. His being the 5th vote, they could have a real problem with this.
Meanwhile, acting GEB Chair Robert Chrysostimo says the issue is taken seriously and is being addressed by board members. Lujan, on the other hand, says he believes he has always been transparent, adding it was common knowledge that he was the GFT treasurer. As for whether this complaint will have any major impacts to the agreement currently awaiting approval from the Attorney General, Meade says we'll just have to wait and see.
If the determination is there is a violation of ethics and there is a conflict of interest, it is up to the board to determine the impact of any third party. They could possibly just go back, have a special meeting for the issues, and revote with the entire board.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
Please stay tuned, everybody. We will continue with more island news when we return.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run. So you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
your reason to celebrate with a brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 8 at IT&E.
It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995 or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
When you know what you want and you want it great, look no further than Ruby Tuesday's new Steakhouse Sensations menu. Choose from a 20-ounce dry aged prime bone-in ribeye or an 8-ounce filet mignon tenderloin. Either steak seared to your preference and served with 2 specialty sides like Denancy mashed potatoes, grilled asparagus, or roasted Brussels sprouts. Enjoy surf and turf and add a succulent lobster tail or tender grilled salmon fillet to complete your meal. This plus a whole lot more. It's Steakhouse Sensations for a limited time and only at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Well, the aircraft carrier, the USS Theodore Roosevelt, arrived for a port visit locally at a time of rising tensions with North Korea. It joins 2 other carrier groups already operating in the Western Pacific to maintain a presence ahead of a high-profile trip to the region next week by the president. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The USS Roosevelt, along with the USS Nimitz and USS Reagan, together mark the first time in a decade that as many as 3 carriers are simultaneously deployed to the same area of operation. But Strike Group Commander Admiral Stephen Kaler says their presence is not directly related to repeated threats to the U.S. by North Korea, including a nuclear missile attack against Guam.
I do think that the Ronald Reagan Strike Group has continued to work with the tensions in Korea and are always ready. Certainly we're here if called upon to do whatever the leadership, political leadership wants from us. We'll see how that all plays out.
The San Diego-based carrier is joined by its strike group, including destroyers the USS Preble and USS Halsey. The ships are carrying some 7,500 sailors and Marines as part of a regular deployment to the Western Pacific that began on October 6th. USS Roosevelt commanding officer Captain Carlos Sardiello.
Ready and fully trained to go on our 7-month routine deployment. And we have follow-on operations scheduled in the 5th Fleet area of operations. So that has been our primary focus. But on the way, we do the tasking that is assigned.
The Navy estimates that local spending by the more than 5,000 personnel on 4 days of liberty will total about $4 million. This is the first ever port call to Guam by the USS Roosevelt. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Well, the AG has filed a response to the Justice Department's complaint against the Chamorro Land Trust Act. The DOJ suit filed in September alleges that the Trust Act discriminates against non-Chamorros in violation of the U.S. Fair Housing Act. Past more than 2 decades prior, the CLTA has provided 99 land leases to more than 4,000 Chamorros with another 8,000 on the waiting list. While the AG does not dispute a series of allegations in the complaint, it does raise several technical arguments in defense, alleging the DOJ has failed to state a claim for which relief can be granted, that the claims are barred by the statute of limitations, and that the CLTC has immunity through sovereign and common law. A hearing's not yet been scheduled. Well, millions of dollars in shortfalls affecting the island's educational institutions is what led the Speaker to hold an oversight with DOA today. While BJ Cruz says DOE, GCC, and UOG face shortfalls ranging from $1.6 to $12 million each, Department of Administration Director Christine Belletto confirms all 3 institutions have worked out payment agreements with her agency. Yet, she adds, payment for prior year obligations for underperforming special funds could not be made. Superintendent John Fernandez from DOE explains this latest cash crunch situation.
But one thing that is different from the prior years, and it's due to the Speaker and the Committee on Appropriations, that we are less exposed to TEF, in FY18 and hopefully going forward. So that issue with the TEF shortfall hopefully will not be something that will affect us this year.
DOE had previously faced a $13 million shortfall due to the underperforming fund. Belletto says both DOE and GCC should be made whole this year, adding she'll continue to address the larger follow at UOG. A hearing is set for next April. Well, now all 4 food establishments at GPO shut down earlier this month due to roach and rodent infestation are back in operation. A public health inspection report states the latest establishment to reopen is Aji Ichi Japanese Restaurant. And while that establishment was closed on October 11th for roach infestation, an inspection on Monday revealed no further signs of roach activity. The sanitary permit at the establishment was reinstated and it received an A grade with no demerits. To the hospital now, the latest invitation for bid is out for the $9.2 million project to renovate the labor and delivery ward at GMH. Formerly known as the GMH Family Birthing Center project, the procurement funds renovations and state-of-the-art equipment for the hospital's labor and delivery ward, neonatal ICU, nursery, and much more. A previous procurement for the project was released earlier this year but failed to receive bids, while the governor concerned that the lack of bids due to foreign labor shortage. Well, in other news tonight, a year ago today, Archbishop Michael Burns was Vatican appointed to lead Guam's faithful amid a laundry list of controversy. And to commemorate his one-year anniversary, our Crystal Paco sat down for a one-on-one with the coadjutor of Guam's Catholic faithful.
I met a lot of firsts. First thing was getting over the shock, of coming to a place that I'd never been before.
Exactly 1 year ago, the Vatican appointed Michigan's Michael Burns to serve as coadjutor Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Agana.
I remember getting up the very first morning, and one of the first things I had was meeting with the lawyers.
Then there were only 20 clergy sexual abuse lawsuits lodged against the Archdiocese of Agana. Fast forward to today, there are 140 and counting.
That's been a constant source of distress. I'd love to be able to do more. I just don't know the venue for it. I think once we're through the legal case, I think we'll have a greater freedom to deal with, to extend more pastoral care.
Now a year on the job, he reflects and prioritizes.
The sexual abuse cases, that's number one. Probably number two is the loss of trust, I would say. Number three, I think, is our quest for financial transparency. I think that's been a key effort.
Making his list of priorities, he says he wants to address the social ills affecting the island, issues ranging from domestic violence to substance abuse and high divorce rates.
If we're doing our work right, we should see a lessening of some of those issues.
Rounding out that list, he wants to continue to develop those who spread the gospel. The priest.
I met with all of them, and we've got some really good guys, and so this is more of a personal concern for me, for my priests, that we develop their ability to lead, to preach, to become even better priests than they already are.
So how would he rate himself as Guam's shepherd for the faithful? He admits that while accountability can be painful, it's working.
I think we're winning it back. It's always, it's how do you gauge something like that, but I think we are.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
And you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel because Crystal's full interview with the Archbishop will be online tomorrow morning, wherein he gets candid about making a transition to island living and the heat here, his favorite pastime, local foods, and much more. Please stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
From the network that brought you up to 3 times more data comes the dawn of a new data. The epic story of Guam's only network brave enough to give 10 free gigs of bonus data on every line every month to customers who bundle their services. Reviewers are calling the offer totes awesome. Best deal ever. And yes.
Visit GTA.net for details.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes, from caring for our land through the Adaki Itano program, to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kita Smaasti, Matson.
Hi, Dad.
Warm up with the new Peking pork. Delicious crisp pork chop bites with hand-cut bell peppers and onions, wok-tossed in a sweet and sour glaze. New at Panda Express, where good fortune smiles.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Half a day, Marianas, Guahusi Chris. Happy Halloween. Hope you like my costume. Dressed up as Vin Diesel again this year. Let's do it, man. We got a great little segment. Guam National Youth Football Federation profiling the Giants team, and it's proudly brought to you by Triple J Ford.
GNYFF Playmakers, presented by Triple J Ford Youth Football League. Strength, commitment, community.
My name is Kaden. We are Team Giants, and I play fullback and running back. My team is awesome because we win. My name is Sadie, and I play for the Giants, and my positions are quarterback, center, halfback. My team is awesome because we are the best. My favorite NFL team is Eagles. Hi, my name is Ashton. I play for the Giants. I play for defense. My favorite NFL team is Packers.
Hi, my name is Xavier Cruz. My division is Manha. I play for the Guam Giants. My position is line. My team is awesome because we work together and have fun. My favorite NFL team is New York Giants.
Hi, my name is Darren Ngata. I play for the Giants. I play for line. My team is awesome because when we get goals and we have the fun. My favorite NFL team is New York Giants.
Hi, my name is Jay Logan. I play for the Guam Giants Mana Division, and my position is quarterback and linebacker. My team is awesome because we all have fun and we never give up. Youth football is important to me so I can get stronger. My favorite NFL team is the Dallas Cowboys.
Hi there, my name is Samantha Charfris from the village of Mangilao. I've been a team parent for, this is actually my second year as a team parent for the Guam Giants. The best thing about, at least for me, because I played sports growing up, is actually having my kids involved, outside of school and having them be able to be in an organization or in an extracurricular activity and just seeing how much joy it actually brings to my children. Since I've been here, from the organization itself is well organized, the team parents, a lot of support from the team parents, and then the kids are just awesome, and the coaches especially.
Hi, my name is Casey Henderson, and I've been a parent for 2 years and a half for the Giants. Being a team parent is all about working with the kids, being there for them, being a support, and I like that. We're special because we work as a family. Everybody is there to support their kids when it comes to game time and stuff.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Cruz. I play for the KUAM Giants Mega Division. My position is fullback, linebacker, and nose guard. My team is awesome because we all respect one another. My favorite NFL team is the New York Giants.
My name is Isaiah Ariola. I play for the KUAM Giants Mega Division. My position is quarterback, running back, and linebacker. My team is awesome because we are like family. We love one another. My favorite NFL team is the Carolina Panthers.
Hi, my name is Lynn Hernandez and I represent Mega Division, and I play offense, defense, and my positions are running back, linebacker, and quarterback. My favorite NFL team is Dallas Cowboys.
Hi, my name is Ray Rios and I play for the KUAM Giants Mega Division. My positions are running back and right outside linebacker. My team is awesome because we all have respect. Something valuable that I learned from my coaches is tackling and respect.
All right, stay safe, Marianas, Guahusi, Chris, a.k.a. Vin Diesel. Hasta adios!
Nissan's fall clearance event is on. Save as much as $8,000 on the award-winning Titan. Get the best price of the year on the full line of sedans, trucks, and SUVs. Drive away in the all-new Rogue Sport, including rear-view camera, text messaging assistant, and streaming audio for only $120 per pay period. You'll find more great deals on the Altima SR, the Legendary Z, or the 7-passenger Quest, starting at just $149 per pay period during the fall clearance event at Nissan Upper Tumon. Find out more at nissanguam.com.
St. John's Drama Department presents the Karen Flores production. Lights Out. This original play is November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, second floor of the plaza. Tickets $10 each and can be purchased at the door. For more information, call 488-6899.
Quarter pounder with cheese, now seared to be thicker and juicier. Only at McDonald's.
It's back and bigger than ever. The big deal is going on now at Triple J. 0 down, 1.9% financing plus a $500 Kmart gift certificate. Save big with deals like the Ford F-150 at $266 per paycheck, the Mazda CX-3 at $154, the Kia Optima at $169 per paycheck, or the Honda Accord at $193 per paycheck. Stop by today or visit us online at triplejguam.com and see print ads for details. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J, 33 years of putting customers first.
All right, courtesy of our friends at Cold Stone Creamery, here are tonight's birthday shoutouts. Happy birthday to Cadence Weeks, who celebrated a birthday today. Likewise, happy birthday to Matthias J. Gumaban, who celebrates birthday number 13. This comes from your family. And last but certainly not least, happy birthday to Eric Eaton from your grandson Julius and your son Steven. Go online as always to KUAM.com and register for the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club absolutely free. Isa's next with health, home, and lifestyle.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hafide and